Hi, I'm Devi Sahny. I'm the CEO of Ascend Now and The Edge, and I've been a member at FII for 1 year. When I started Ascend Now, it was my first taste of entrepreneurship, and I felt in my own personal journey of starting a business, I felt that entrepreneurship is such a beautiful vehicle to acquire skills like persistence, turning every no into a yes. So I said to myself, why don't we teach K-12? Why don't we teach high schoolers and middle schoolers entrepreneurship? I think with the advancement of AI, it's so important that the next generation of students have softer skills like networking, grit, resilience, and that's what my company aims to solve. I think one of the biggest problems of our education system is that a lot of students don't feel like they have buy-in in what they learn. You go to school and everything's set out, what you study in middle school and high school. And I felt that entrepreneurship gives kids that buy-in, saying, hey, I want to start a pet care company. Or most recently, we have an 11-year-old, Elisa. She started an app for senior citizens to deliver groceries to each other. And then she sold that app to another company. And she's 11, right? So normalizing age is just a number, is really something I tried to bear in mind when I started the business in 2018, as well as today. I am really worried about the education system because I think that change is so slow. Curriculum shifts happen every 9 to 16 years, and there's overall a lot of resistance to change at every level. So if you take a curriculum, let's say the SAT, for example, essentially the problem with these kind of tests is that they presume one level of thinking, and they presume that every student should think that certain way. But actually that's the opposite of innovation. They should be allowed to assess more creatively the skills and the life competencies the students are actually learning. So I think the good news is things are moving. Are they moving quick enough? I don't know. I'm impatient. I like to see things go quickly, but I think the next couple of years will be really telling. I speak at so many conferences about future of curriculum, educating the youth, what should K-12 be learning, and yet at most of these conferences, the youngest person in the room is in their 30s or 40s, but we're talking about a generation in their teens. We're not including the youth in the dialogue, and that's such a mistake, I feel. What I love about FII is I see so many youth around, and I see that the youth's voices are being included into the dialogue. I personally learn a lot from the youth, and I think that mirroring and learning and hearing them, listening with empathy, can really create a better future for us, as opposed to telling them, you shouldn't use technology, you shouldn't be gaming. The fact that they're always online is sending us a message that that's how they consume information today. So it's really about meeting them where they are and empowering them to build a world for us and for them that's even better. One of the things I love about FII, it's not just a conference. It's a pool of data and insights. It supports learning and thought leadership across literally any industry you could think of. AI, tech, education, logistics, climate change. I also think it's really cool that you can learn from so many different industries, cross-industry learning and cooperation and partnership. It doesn't happen as often as one might think. So for example, whether it's, I met a CEO of a blockchain company this morning who was like, you should integrate my course into your program, which goes out to 300 schools. So there's so many opportunities for serendipity and natural friendships to be built. I didn't realize there was so many people that I'm bumping into. They're like, oh, you're here. So it's really nice to reconnect with old faces. I'll definitely be attending a lot of the panels on geopolitics and climate change as well. It's an area I'm very interested to learn more about how in my landscape and my environment with education, I can kind of push forward further. Prosperity, positivity, and cross-generational dialogue.